here to get that. Okay. I think all systems are up and running. And Facebook has been made public. All right. This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. In the podcast tonight, YouTube to auto-detect products and videos and link to them. Amazon seemingly threatened workers organizing amid COVID-19. Class action status for Mackbook Pro Butterfly keyboard suit. And get a Krispy Kreme every day for free. The details to follow. I want to welcome you to episode 1515 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, March 22nd. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/ Did I say that again? Support the show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider. I had GoDaddy on the mind. Hey, I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners of the show. Thank you for being here. And if you're watching the show today or listening, make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com, get subscribed to the show right on the right-hand column of the website. It says subscribe to the podcast. A little bit further down the page, there is a place for you to subscribe to the newsletter. Get subscribed to that. The newsletter contains everything I'm going to talk about in the show tonight. Basically, it's the blog post copied into an email, so you can always get it here or get it directly to your inbox. So really, the way to stay abreast of the show is to join our chat room at geeknews.chat. That's a Mastodon chat server, or on Discord. Our Discord channel is in the show note link. You can also be part of our Slack team. All you got to do is email me here, geeknews@gmail.com. And if you want to reach me on Twitter, that's real easy to do, at Geek News. You can follow me on Facebook. All the partner shows are linked to geeknewscentral.com. That's the new media show, the Pro Gear Guru, the Gadget Professor, the GNC Week in Review, and the now retired podcast Legends show. And this show is the longest running continuous. This show does have the longest running continuous sponsor of a podcast. That's our good friends at GoDaddy. I can't talk tonight at all. So all you got to do is go over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy and find these deals. These are the best deals in the space as far as hosting and domain names, where you get 30% off new product purchases, a $4.99.com, $1 a month economy hosting for the first year of the free domain, $1 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year with a free domain, or GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of business. Personal business to business plus plans. Those are a 1 month free trial. But again, those $1 a month economy hosting and managed WordPress hosting for the first year is the deal. Is the deal to go after. $12 and a free domain name. You're all hooked up. You got everything you need to start a business, start a podcast, start a blog, start a family picture roll, you name it. Don't trust these social media sites anymore. Build your own, grow your own, build on your own land that you own. That land is your .com. You don't build a castle on rented property. You do that on a domain name that you have for your website. Yeah, it costs you a little bit every year, but you never have to worry. You're locked in, you're good. And we're going to get you started for $12. You start it and do it your way. And, of course, that $4.99.com or newer transfer domains, that's a good deal, too. And if you're just going over there and buying something cool, that 30% off code. So definitely check everything out. We want to thank you for supporting the sponsor, GoDaddy. It's been greatly appreciated, all of you that have and will. And, of course, those of you that buy products through us, you save an average 87% per purchase on GoDaddy hosting accounts. And all these codes work. You can click on it or you can copy and use the code at checkout. Either way works fine. So, again, thanks to GoDaddy for being a longtime sponsor. Of course, this studio is designed by our good friends at audimute.com, AUDIMUTE.com. And we want to encourage you, if you're ever starting to do your own show or need audio conditioning for your business, You talk to those folks as well. They've served us well here at the Geek News Central. Well, I tell you what happened last show was kind of crazy. I got done with the show, started to do the show notes, had the video and audio in process, and my server crashed. And I mean, went sideways crash. Couldn't SSL into it, couldn't recover it. It went into safe mode. It's crazy. Don't know what happened. So I called Angelo, my CIO over at Bravo. I said, my server's down at 9 o'clock at night. Can you help? And by 10 p.m., we were up and running and on new iron. And it was amazing, quick recovery. The website is fast as it's ever been. Matter of fact, we're on much faster hard drives. I think we're on solid states now, not actually on spinners. And so the website should be a little faster. I know it's on the administrative side. It's a lot faster. So he said it was like a 20 times improvement to server performance. So, but anyway, server's up and running, and it's good, and we weren't down that, was not down that long. And then on, hey Toby, thanks for saying hello on the Facebook chat. If you're on Facebook and watching, make sure you check in, say hi. On Saturday, had some help, but worked on shipping trophies. So the help was greatly appreciated, and I think 5 or 6 hours had them all ready to go. USPS stopped at the office this morning, picked all of them up. I got 3 I have to take in because they're international, and the gal that was picking up didn't know how to deal with those. But even more crazy is worked on a whole bunch of projects on Sunday. Actually had a business meeting Sunday at the house, and I'm still with one major project left. I got to get my taxes done. I'm just the worst when it comes to getting all that stuff finalized and into the accountant. So that is the goal this week, is to get that stuff done. So get that monkey off my back. Does anyone else just hate it? I mean, really hate it? I'm sure some of you are all organized. You're all good. You just push a button on QuickBooks. You get your report. You send it off the accountant, or you file yourself. If it could be so simple. Little Red Bull action tonight. Got a glass of water here. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the content. Kirk found a good stack of stuff tonight. Kirk did a good job getting the show prep done. Again, executive producer here, Kirk Corliss, that does the GNC Week in Review. Does all my show prep. Very rarely do I pick up anything new. We're like 2 peas in the pod, all synced up. But one of the surprising articles that was really kind of tweaked my radar here today was YouTube is going to experiment where they're going to auto-detect products in videos and provide related content leaks. In other words, they're going to advertise. So, as an example, if they see my Red Bull sign, or if they see something I'm doing in the show, they're going to auto-detect that product and probably put a commercial link to it someplace where you can buy it and where they make a little money. I'm expecting this. And so there was an early version of this feature began testing with a very small sub of YouTube users through 2020. And it's going to look like it's going to be rolling out a lot more. So time will tell. Testing automated list of products detailed. We are experimenting with a new feature. It displays a list of products detected in some videos as well as related products. The feature will appear in between the recommended videos to viewers scrolling below the video player. The goal is to help people explore more videos and information about those products on YouTube. The feature will be visible to people watching videos in the United States. So we will see if this leads to more YouTube videos or if this leads you off site to advertising. Now, I do 95% of my YouTube viewing directly on my smart TV. And it's very difficult to see any of the show notes, the links. It's a really kind of a problem for YouTube creators, because oftentimes they'll say, hey, go to this link, and I have to get my laptop, find the episode and look at the show notes. My Sony, with its Android build, doesn't give me the option of looking at the detailed links, and there's no way really to play a browser. It's just play YouTube videos. So I don't know. How many of you seen that action before as well? Or Amazon has threatened, or Amazon did threaten, warehouse workers organizing amid COVID-19 pandemic, says the U.S. Labor Board complaint. The investigation found that Amazon managers may have violated U.S. labor laws on 4 different accounts. So they allegedly instructed employees not to organize without first notifying them. They interrogated workers about the walkout and threatened to discipline those who spoke to colleagues about the protest. The complaint reportedly said that Amazon illegally interrogated and disciplined Jonathan Bailey, one of the lead walkout organizers. He coordinated protests after a colleague tested positive for COVID-19. The day after the walkout, a regional manager interrogated Bailey for about an hour and a half, telling his behavior might constitute harassment. Motherboard reports he also demanded Bailey alert him in advance of any future protests. A week later, Bailey was written up for harassment. And Amazon did its best to keep everybody working while simultaneously crushing our effort to fight back. So he's not alone in this assessment. New York Attorney General Letitia James sued the company for failing to provide adequate safety members. The NLRB has separately found merit to allegations of retaliation for warehouse workers in Chicago. Employees said they retaliate against in the wake of protests regarding how the company handled COVID-19. So this news comes amid a historic union vote at Amazon warehouses in Bessemer, Alabama. Workers began voting by mail on February 8th. Votes will be counted on March 30th. If the effort is successful, it will be the first Amazon union in the United States. So there you go. A judge has granted a class action status to Mackbook Butterfly keyboard suit. We know that Apple phased out the design after 2019. I've got one of those models right here. Knock on wood, so far been okay. But judges granted class action status to a suit against Apple over its controversial alleged defective MacBook Butterfly keyboard design, agreeing that the owners of an affected model in 7 states qualify for the class. Beginning in 2018, we know that several MacBook owners in 7 states filed lawsuits against Apple. So we'll see. All customers residing in California, New York, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, Michigan, or Washington who purchased a 2015, 2017 MacBook, a 2016, 2019 MacBook Pro, or 2018, 19 MacBook Air would now qualify for the class. I would have been still in Hawaii at the time. So I don't know if that makes me, probably doesn't make me eligible at all. Who knows? But anyway, show us the money. You like Krispy Kreme? I do love Krispy Kreme. Just because they were so hard to get in Hawaii, they would have like people selling Krispy Kremes on the side of the road, sometimes in the sun. You know how that went. But usually in coolers, so you get a nice crispy Krispy Kreme that came from Maui, because Oahu did not have a Krispy Kreme shop. But Krispy Kremes are pretty popular here, of course, in the United States. I don't think there's one in my town or anyone close. But they're offering a free donut to people who are vaccinated for the rest of 2021. You can get a free Krispy Kreme a day. All you have to do is show your vaccination card to show that you had at least one of the 2 shots of the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines, or the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Wearing your I'm vaccinated sticker will not count. The company adds on its website, employees will not document or take photos of your vaccine card since it contains personal information. The unvaccinated offer, we understand choosing to receive COVID-19 highly personal decision. Company writes in its website, it's added if you decide not to get the vaccine. You can still get a free original glazed donut and medium brewed coffee on Mondays to get your week off to a good start. Oh, so if you don't take the vaccine from March 29th through May 24th, every Monday you can get a free donut and a cup of coffee. But if you get a vaccine, you can get one every day through December 31st. Now, I know for a simple fact, this is brilliant. Here's why. There's this thing. Well, maybe this isn't brilliant. Is Krispy Kreme allowing you to come in the store and sit down? McDonald's and all these places that have breakfast stuff typically are full of retirees in the morning. They go in and meet with their buddies, and the gals meet for coffee or whatever. And they each get a cup of coffee, and they can all sit around and chit chat for a couple of hours. Happens a lot. Well, if Krispy Kreme is giving a free donut every day, well, retirees who get the shot, maybe they'll hang out at Krispy Kreme longer, buy some coffee or something else in addition to. So I don't think Krispy Kreme loses on this one at all. But if you have to go through the drive-thru, it might be not worth going through the drive-thru for a single donut, because you can't just eat one Krispy Kreme, right? You got to eat 2 or 3. What does that have to do with tech? I don't know, but it's cool. It's just right. The Roku will stream every episode of This Old House for free. Roku now owns the rights to the show, including the TV studio. So this is interesting. Roku's quest for unique programming might have just made it a go-to destination for home renovation fans. Deadline reports that Roku has brought the rights to This Old House, including its 1,500 plus episodes, and even the TV studio. While it is already streaming past episodes of This Old House and Ask This Old House for free through Roku, it's now ready to show current seasons of both shows after they air on PBS. So the company is in the midst of prepping everything, so it may be a while before you see this, but a Deadline source said it wasn't enough to trip the $100 million milestone that requires a regulatory filing. So they paid a relative modest amount for a huge library of well-known programming. So good for Roku. We'll see where they go with that. The six best free media players for Windows. So struggling to figure out the right media player for your PC? Here are the best free media player apps for Windows 10. The 6 best are VLC Media Player. I use that on my Mac too. What else? Pot Player. Media Player Classic. ACG Player. MPV. 5K Player. Those are some I really am not familiar with. I'm definitely familiar with the number one choice. Even on the Mac, there's some stuff I have. If I want to play certain videos, I have to have a special player. It's not a Windows-only problem. So a link will be up in the show notes. The iPhone 13 could launch in late September, report says. It seems like yesterday the iPhone 12 came out. How time flies when we're all locked down. It still feels like it, right? What is Scareware? And this is the time I've ever heard really this topic. What is Scareware? Here's everything you need to know. And this is where people lose millions of dollars every year. Scareware is a deceptive scam that tricks you into believing that your computer has been infected by a deadly virus. Ever receive a sudden pop-up notification or a loud beeping alert claiming your PC is infected of multiple viruses? The notifications are generally followed by a phone number to call or a link to download software to get rid of the issue. Dun, dun, dun. This is a deceptive tactic known as scareware, and old people fall for this every type of day and night. There's no problem with their computer, and they end up talking to someone in Calcutta, India, who tries to get them to transfer money from their bank account, wrap it in tin foil, ship it across the United States, or get Google Play cards. So it's not only the scammers in Calcutta. In March of 2019, a $35 million settlement happened between Office Depot, its tech vendor Support.com, and the FTC based on allegations that free software known as PC Health Check program was downloaded in the customer's computer. Software also used scareware tactics to sell diagnostics and repair services to the company. So luring emails, website pop-ups, tech support calls. Keep your browsers up to date. Keep your malware software up to date. Keep your antivirus up to date, and you'll be just fine. LG is looking to shut down phone business instead of selling it. It follows reports earlier this year that the company is looking to offload its phone business and its upcoming rollable phone. Korean news site Dong-A reported over the weekend the business would be shuttered instead of being sold off, citing an unnamed source who said negotiations of a sale to Volkswagen and Vin Group JSC have stalled. That follows a report in January at the Korea Herald that LG was looking to scrap its phone business despite having premiered its new rollable phone tech at CES in 2021. So sometimes you just got to throw in the towel. William Shatner, who's blocked me on Twitter, by the way, turns 90. An AI version of him will live on indefinitely. Shatner partners with Storyfile to create an interactive version of himself that answers fan questions and talks back to them. Can you believe it? Captain Kirk is 90 years old. The captain of the Star Trek Enterprise will always be young on screen, but the actor who played him, William Shatner, turned 90, and he announced that he's creating interactive AI-powered video for family and friends can interact with him for years to come. Okay. A lot of Star Trek fans out there. What else? Well, I must say, the reaction to a 90th birthday is overwhelmingly, he wrote. Don't young people have better things to do? Thank you to everyone for your well wishes and love. So, and the picture on his Twitter profile looks like he's about 50. Microsoft survey, 73% of workers want to be able to work from home after the pandemic. This should not come as a surprise. People like doing meetings in their underwear. It's a lot of fun, right? And some people have even been caught drinking alcohol in the morning on their morning meetings. So according to Microsoft's first annual Work Trend Index, which surveyed 30,000 people from 31 countries, 73% of workers want their employees to continue providing flexible remote work options after the world returns to some semblance of normalcy. Do we know what normalcy is anymore? Do we know what it's like to be free? Do we know that? Do you know that? The data is clear. Extreme flexibility and hybrid work will define the post-pandemic workplace. Employees want control where, when, and how they work and expect businesses to provide options. The decision businesses leaders make in the coming months to enable flexible work will impact everything from culture and innovation to how organizations attract and retain top talent. The study found that 67% of workers want more in-person time with their coworkers. Of course, I'd like face-to-face time with my dentist at this point. So those numbers might come down as people go back out in the real world again and the lure of in-person interaction fades. We're already isolated enough. Isn't it good to go into the office sometimes and just interact and have those jam sessions of creativity? That's what really, I think, is impacted here. But time will tell how this works out. And plus, commercial real estate, would not want to be in the commercial real estate business right now. Unless you're in a commercial zone that allows marijuana pharmacies. The work continues next door. The weed shop is going to be put together soon. Actually, they got a long ways to go, but they're in there every day banging. Running wires, doing all whatever they're doing. But yeah, unless you live in an area where that's going on. We'll see how well it is when the parking lot's full and my parking space has been taken by someone. Samsung Galaxy S21 U.S. sales are reportedly tripled compared to last year. The Galaxy S21 is the S21 line is $200 cheaper this year, and Samsung is seeing results. As it turns out, a big price drop is a great way to boost sales. And Sam Mobile has the latest strategy analytics numbers and reports that the first months of U.S. sales of the Galaxy S21 have tripled compared to last year. So the Galaxy S20 arrived last year at MSRP of $1,000 for the base and $1,200 for the S20. This year, Samsung rolled out a $200 price drop across the lineup, resulting in $800 base model and a $1,000 plus model. They confused this. S21, S20. So they're talking about the S21. So, yes, cheaper always is better. And that Samsung S21 is a pretty nice phone. A jury has ordered Apple to pay $308 million in royalties for DRM patent infringement. Fairplay DRM used in iTunes and Apple Music infringed on the small company's patent. Of course, a jury in the plaintiff-friendly East District of Texas has ordered Apple to pay $308.5 million. An expert for personalized media communications, the plaintiff estimated that Apple owed $240 million, but after a 5-day jury trial, the jury increased the amount by ordering to pay a running royalty, which based the award on sales or use of a product. So this will be run through the court systems. They'll be appealed and everything else. So a patent company wins again. Clubhouse says its Android launch will take a couple of months. That is crazy. Really crazy. They promised a time frame of sorts for the launch of its anticipated Android version, following its recent hire of an Android software developer, one last month. In its weekly town hall event in Clubhouse co-founder Paul Davison remarked the company was working really hard to come to Android, but said it's going to take a couple of months to make that happen. That seems to indicate a time frame that's closer to late spring or summer 2021. And Twitter Spaces is going to be up and running long before that. And I'm sure Facebook will have something as well. Samsung, this is weird, is reportedly working on a double folding phone. Okay, anyone got one of these any of these folded phones? I've not seen one in the wild yet. According to the article, the phone would fold into 3 segments using 2 hinges and could be announced as early as the end of the year. The phone would be a third option in Samsung's foldable lineup, and joining the Galaxy Z Fold and Z Flip, both of which are also expected to appear with new versions this year. So time will tell what happens with that. Big changes coming with Intel's next CPU, codename Alder Lake. A leaked presentation from video cards suggests Alder Lake will affect motherboards, memory, and more. And it looks like what they've done here is Intel is probably stepping the game up because of M1. That's the Microsoft chip. Over the weekend, video cards said it obtained a leaked Alder Lake presentation, which promised that Alder Lake will offer 20% more performance in single-threaded applications and more than double the performance in multi-threaded workloads. In part, that's because Alder Lake will be manufactured on a 10-nanometer manufacturing node, Intel's most advanced. Leaked presentation offers insufficient context for interpreting the performance claims. Video cards suggested Intel could be comparing Alder Lake against Rocket Lane or Intel's 11th Gen Tiger Lake parts. However, Intel could conceivably be comparing Alder Lake to the anemic Lakefield, in which case the bar is set much lower. So, we'll see where this goes. If the leaked video card Z presentation accurate, Alder Lake will also be the first Intel chip to support DDR5 memory. Intel has already made some interesting tweaks with Rocket Lake S supporting Gear 1 and Gear 2 timing in DDR4. So a lot of this you guys probably never know about your computers, but it all gets integrated by the OEMs. Says the older DDR4 memory will still work with this new chip, but there is PCI Express 5 plans for the future as well. And so it looks like to me that Intel is trying to step up their game here. And Apple may have been partly to blame. If you like Justice League, a black and white version of it will be premiering on HBO Max soon. I got another movie premiere I was able to see. Can I see what was the name of it? I'm horrible. Comes out April 9th. I think I talked about it in the last show. And so it's kind of cool getting invited to these movie premieres or series premieres. How many of you watched the Discovery one on the new 747 the president's getting? Microsoft to start reopening headquarters on March 29th with a hybrid workplace focus. Microsoft is letting some employees back into the office. So they're opening its Redmond and Seattle, Washington-based headquarters. Software Gem originally started encouraging employees to work from home more than a year ago. This will start to change. Currently, Microsoft has work sites in 21 countries. And Microsoft said it's taking a gradual approach to be in line with local authority restrictions, and the company's determined it can now safely accommodate more workers while sticking to the Washington state capacity limits. As we watch the progress against the virus in the region and continue to evaluate our guidance, employees who work at Redmond work sites or nearby campuses will have the choice to return to those facilities or to continue working remotely. I bet you Microsoft pushes people to move back. Stage 1 is closed. Stage 2 is mandatory work from home. Stage 3 is work from home strongly encouraged. Stage 4 is soft open. Stage 5 is open restrictions. And Stage 6 is open. They're going to be on Stage 4. Soft open. Soft open. And I already talked about their study where 73% of their employees want to stay home. It's a lot easier to stay home and work than drive into work. It's just the way it is. Facebook says it's took down 1.3 billion fake accounts in October through December. Think about that. Took down 1.3 billion fake accounts. And they have 35,000 people working on tackling misinformation on this platform. The company also removed more than 12 millions of content about COVID-19 and vaccines that global health experts flagged as misinformation. False claim and conspiracies about the coronavirus vaccine have proliferated on social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter during the pandemic. Facebook's disclosure on data misinformation comes ahead of the inspection by the U.S. House Committee on Energy and Commerce into how technology platforms, including Facebook, are tackling misinformation. Of course, they didn't talk about any political misinformation. FDA clears the first AI device to spot hidden signs of COVID-19. The armband uses light sensors and a processor to identify a virus biomarker that can cause blood clots. Why? If you think about this, if they have got an armband to identify COVID-19, why can't they do this for other stuff? Dubbed the Tiger Tech COVID Plus monitor, the apparatus is an armband that uses light sensors and a small computer processor to check for biomarkers of the virus, such as hypercoagulation, a common COVID-19 abnormality that causes the blood to clot more easily. Once strapped to a person's arm, the monitor on board the sensor starts collecting pulse signals from the blood flow over a period of 3 to 5 minutes. The processor then extracts the key info from the measurement and feeds them in through the machine learning model. Final results, including whether the test shows positive biomarkers or is inclusive, reported by different colored lights. So they have to take it. Then you'll be able to take a test. The monitor's clearance follows clinical studies in hospitals and schools that showed similar results. In the hospital setting, the device correctly spotted COVID-19 biomarkers at a rate of 98.6%, while also accurately identifying those who did not possess the telltale signs at a rate of 94.5%. The school trial essentially validated the results according to the FDA. So they're going to be putting these in school. Red, you got to go to the doctor. Green, you can come in. Can you imagine kids getting off the bus or whatever and be sitting in a line with these things on their arms, and it marks beep, it's red. Off to medical you will go. Green, you are allowed to pass. I'm telling you, this is coming. You want to get on an airplane? You're going to have one of these cuffs around your arm, 3 to 5 minutes to monitor whether or not you potentially have COVID or not. Just watch. This is going to happen. U.S. Supreme Court rebuffs Facebook appeal in user tracking lawsuit. The U.S. Supreme Court Monday turned away Facebook's bid to pare back a $15 billion class action lawsuit, accusing the company of illegally tracking the activities of internet users even when they are logged out of the social media platform. The justice declined to hear Facebook's appeal of a lower court ruling that revived the proposed national litigation accusing the company of violating a federal law called the Wiretap Act by secretly tracking the visits of users to websites that use Facebook features such as the like button. The litigation also accuses the company of violating the privacy rights of its users under California law, but Facebook appeal But Facebook's appeal to the Supreme Court involved only the Wiretap Act. So $15 billion may be going to the residents of California. Over on Geek News Central, OnePlus 9 series launched tomorrow to no one's surprise. Thank you for Andrew for putting this article up. Link will be up in the show notes. Again, remember, we got bloggers over at Geek News Central doing cool stuff, writing cool articles, giving you up-to-date information. You need to go over there on a daily basis and check things out. DoorDash now delivers COVID-19 testing kits. The company says average delivery will take less than an hour if you live somewhere where there's a DoorDash. So is this thing like a pregnant? How's this work? If you're in Baltimore, Chicago, Cleveland, Dallas, Denver, Minneapolis, and Phoenix, that's where you can get them now. The kit costs $109. You admit it yourself using a nasal swab. Meanwhile, the 119 kit from Vault Health includes a saliva test you do with supervision from someone from the company offering you guidance over Zoom. Both tests are of the PCR variety and were approved for at-home use by the FDA. We expect results back within 24 to 48 hours. Okay. Lego unveils a Space Shuttle Discovery and Hubble telescope set. I just want to buy the model. I don't want to put it together. I'm sure there's a busy for this. It's a business for this. 2,354 piece kit. It's crazy. Crazy. 2,354 pieces. It's a 1/70th scale of the real thing. The version of Discovery is packed with details, including a functional landing gear, payload bay doors, elvons, and rudder. So you can contain the telescope within the shuttle payload bay or display it separately with the solar arrays extended. The shuttle and telescope have stands and plaques with key data from the STS-31 mission, which launched the Hubble telescope in 1990. It's going to be available for $200 or 170 pounds or 180 euros. So link will be in the show notes for you Lego builders. Jack Dorsey's first tweet sold as an NFT token for an oddly specific amount of $2,915,835.47. So, NFTs. Now, would you guys buy an episode of Geek News Central? Would you buy an episode? You're not going to give me 2.9 million, but would you buy an episode to get an NFT token for Geek News Central? If I said, okay, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the show, episode 1515 is now available for sale. Bidding starts now and ends in 1 week. You can own the rights to episode 1515. Would you guys do that? Interesting, yeah? The 7 best smart doorbells for your home. And I'm going to throw in an alternative here from MakeUseOf.com. They talk about the Eufy, the Arlo, the Ring video doorbell, the Nui, and the Remo. What else? Do they have any more here? No, that's it. 1, 2. They said 7. That's only 5. So let me go through the Eufy, the Ring, the Remo, the Arlo, the Nui, the Ring Peephole, the RCA. Okay, Wise. The Wise has one. They make great products at a great price. Their cameras are absolutely, if I was ever to get if that's the sponsor for this show, Wise. There's a Wise camera right there. And I have other ones stashed around the studio and in my home and different places. So Wise, they're $20. It's crazy. $20 for a camera that is outstanding. They've got outdoor ones now for $40. You just can't go wrong. Their doorbell version, I don't know how much it costs, but if you're thinking about a doorbell for your house, get a Wise. WYZE. Check it out. Check their stuff out. It's great value. Great cameras. So Google Fi. There's nothing like Google Fi when it comes to service and coverage, but there are some best advantages. Mint Mobile, Visible, Metro by T-Mobile, Cricket for wireless, US Mobile, Tello. So a variety of ones that are out there available. I'll have the link up in the show notes for you to check out. But I think Google Fi is probably what a lot of people still want to go to. President Trump is planning to start his own social media platform. A spokesman for Donald Trump announced on Fox that Trump will be returning to social media with his own platform. Appears the platform will be released in 2 or 3 months. No further information has been released other than the new platform is going to be big. It's going to be big, I'm telling you. I hope he owns everything. The web hosting provider, the cables going to the building, everything. Oh my gosh. He's got to own it top to bottom. I'm talking about not having any rented land. It's got to be 100% pure ownership. And web first. Apple has pulled more iMac models ahead of possible M1 refresh. It has removed the 512 gig and 1 terabyte SSD options from its website. So we will see. The configurator has reportedly been unavailable for purchase on Apple's website since last month. It's still unclear why Apple decided to stop selling them, but it could be that it's simply shedding some inventory ahead of its release of the new iMac range. Bloomberg previously reported it's working on 2 models that cut down on the current iMac display bezel, oversized chin and curved back. The new all-in-one desktops will also pack Apple's in-house M1 chips. At the same time, it may also be that Apple is grappling with the same supply shortages that have disrupted the wider tech industry. So maybe wait if you're getting ready to buy a new iMac. The HomePod Mini comes with a hidden temperature and humidity sensor. So Apple's HomePod is designed to be a smaller version of the HomePod. It also acts as a hub for HomeKit users who want to use their voice to control various HomeKit connected smart home devices. And it includes, again, a temperature and humidity sensor. That's interesting in itself. So the hacker who tried to extort Tesla has pled guilty. Russian national Igor Igorovich Krusakov could now face a lighter sentence. And he's pleaded guilty, avoiding a jury trial and possible long stay in prison. He will be sentenced to the charge of conspiracy to intentionally cause damage to a protected computer. The DOJ complaint read like a bad spy movie. In the summer of 2020, he traveled to the U.S. at the behest of the Russian cyber gang and contacted a Russian-speaking worker at the Tesla Gigafactory. He allegedly proposed to pay the employee $1 million to deliver malware to computer systems at Gigafactory. He and his associates supposedly planned to extract data from the network and threatened to release it if Tesla didn't pay a ransom. The employee immediately informed Tesla about the brilliant scheme, and the company contacted the FBI agency, launched a sting operation, and arrested him as he attempted to leave the United States. He would have received $250,000 for recruiting the employee, according to the FBI recording. His original plea not guilty to the charges filed on September 3rd. A jury trial was planned for this year. He could face up to 5 years in jail. With a guilty plea, he is now looking at between 4 and 10 months with 3 years of supervised release. He'll receive no fine, but must pay Tesla $14,824 in restitutions. So we'll see where this goes. Try to bribe someone or extort, then you're going to end up do the crime. Better be willing to do the time. And probably expelled from the United States forever, I would think. All right, this is going to bring us to the end of the show. Geeknews@gmail.com. Geeknews@gmail.com is the email address. Don't forget about my sponsor, GoDaddy. And, of course, I want you to become an insider. The Insider Show is just about ready to roll. And, matter of fact, it's on me at this point. I've just been a little bit slow getting everything done, and I had all this stuff going on over the weekend. So I do work pretty hard. As if you may or may not know that, being the CEO of a company doesn't come with that many perks, except that I probably work as many hours as anybody in the company or more. And it's a 24/7 thing. It really, really is. So, such is the life, right? we get bigger, maybe I can hire some more help and relieve the burden, but got to grow the company bigger. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Geeknews@gmail.com. Geeknews@gmail.com. Your ongoing contributions to being an insider is so greatly appreciated. I do appreciate your ongoing support of the show with your monthly contribution. Again, some of you $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25. Some of you do annual donations. Matter of fact, if you've done an annual donation and I missed you, and I'll let you know on the show when we send out the emails, just email us, hey, Todd, I didn't get the notification. I haven't sent them out yet. I didn't get the notification about the insider program. Please, I gave you a donation. Please include me, and I'll make sure that you are included. Again, I was looking at the reoccurring ones, so I probably missed those of you doing annual. But that's going to be bringing me to the end here. For some reason, the studio is crazy warm. Don't know why. But everyone, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the show. Everyone, we'll see you next Thursday, this coming Thursday, for another episode of the Geek News Central podcast. Everyone, take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.